What's up, bottom feeders? It is I, your overlord, Omammer. That is right. Hey, one second. I just realized I may have forgot to do something. I'll be right back. I'm gonna shrink for a second. Don't worry about it. Never mind. We're good. Totally fine. All right. So anyway, yeah, I have a couple of projects to work on tonight. Probably the main one is going to be my tabletop RPG, but I do have a collab coming up on Saturday with an anime woman, so I need to make some stuff, uh, some lore compliant assets. I need to be able to put myself behind a glass sheet. Uh, it's important for lore reasons, I promise. If you read the 2,000 page Google document that totally exists and I didn't just make up, then you would understand. But anyway, yeah, let's go ahead and get started. Something that's going to be a little. Where's my desktop? There's my desktop. Something that's going to be a little different with this. 10, yeah, 2048. All right. Something that's going to be a little different with this one than in previous streams where I've done kind of work on stream. In that, yes, we're going to have music, but I might also occasionally play an audio recording that it's actually up on my Patreon. Uh, so this audio will be deleted from the VOD before it's archived for YouTube and whatnot. But yeah, the um, yeah, I'll need to. I'm not gonna be playing the whole thing like just for you. I gotta skip around to some points because one of the things I'm gonna be working on basically is this RPG that I've been developing. It's a tabletop game, a one shot powered by the apocalypse RPG where where's the there's transparent background. Okay. Sorry. Anyway, where my your goal is to break into the Springfield cheese caves in Springfield, Missouri, and steal cheese from the U.S. government because the government is actually keeping hundreds of millions of pounds of cheese under Springfield. And it's not just their cheese. The government does just own a ridiculous amount of surplus cheese. It was a practice that started under Ronald Reagan and I think ended under Obama. um, but now they have the space converted for cheese storage, and so they just rent it out to like craft and whatnot. So there's just un unknowably large quantities of cheese that the government owns and maintain owns and maintains in Springfield, Missouri. And so I've written a heist game about stealing it. This is for comedy purposes. Do not actually use this game to plan a real heist on the real Springfield cheese caves. For legal reasons, I cannot advise you to do that. But anyway, first we're going to make. I need a glass sheet to hide behind, so that like it's for my protection. Like I'm a being of slime and tentacles, and so um, some people get the wrong idea when you put that around anime women. Again, just totally for my protection. So first off, let's see. No stroke. Fill. Let's get like a really light blue. That should be good. Oh yeah, I should turn pretzel back on. Okay, that's a bit loud. Well, for me it's fine, but for you guys it's loud. That's too quiet. Okay. How's that? We can work with that. If anyone has any complaints, let me know. So anyway, first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to make a square. Now that we've got the square, this should be fairly simple. I can round the corner. Oh, that's convenient. I don't need this right now, but like, I didn't know that I could make a plus sign just like that. Holy shit. That's awesome. But no, that's not what we need here. What we need here is we need to turn down the opacity of this to, I don't know, 50 is probably good. Yeah, 50 looks pretty good. Okay. Now we're going to bevel it. Actually, let's start with 75 and... No, okay, so we want full... Maybe the opacity of this is too low. I guess let's start... Yeah, that's okay. Let's turn this down so it looks good. We need to be able to see me behind it, so it's going to be like that, probably, realistically. I'll have to test this out in VTube Studio in a minute. I also got to figure out how to do... There's like a... What's VNet? Anyway, I got to figure out how to make the like the VTube Studio online stuff work so that I can import the collaborators model. I don't think I'll do that on stream, but just in case there's any sensitive information that gets put on display, you know what I mean. So I want to rotate this about 45 degrees. Like so. And now we're gonna... Actually, no. Actually, we need to bring this in, I think. There we go. Okay, I know what my mistake is. We want this actually to be more like... Can I get it like a... That is kind of a cool effect, watching that animate out like that, although... Yeah, this... Yeah. Okay, it's not too bad. Probably not what I'm looking for. Let's see. Do we have anything else? Engraving might look better. Clean engraving 3. Oh wait, I didn't want to apply that to the... Let's go back into the brush tool. Clean engraving 3. Now it's got to finish doing its thing, I guess, before we get to pull it off. Okay, I'm gonna just do a quick one this time. If I hold down shift, does it... Yeah, that makes a straight line. Okay, perfect. That's kind of the shape we want. Okay, now, if I select a color for this, does it... I've never actually used the vector brush tool before. Aha! Okay, so this is going to be very hard to see, I think. So, actually, you know what? Why don't I just bring you back up to full opacity for now? Nope, that's not right. So what we're going to do is we're going to take this thing. And I'm actually going to duplicate it a few times. But first... I can change the thickness of these. So let's say maybe double it. Let's double this one too. This one, what's 64 times 3? I think that'll be... Or to the 128 times 3. 256. I know what I'm talking about, guys. I just can't say it out loud. Squared? No, to the third cubed. That's the word. Alright, so... if we can kind of do one of those numbers, then I can come into these here. Can I zoom out? Thank you. No, that's not. Actually, I think this needs brought in a little bit. And maybe these need brought out further. Excuse me. Excuse me. Why can I not adjust the opacity of this anymore? Oh, wrong layer, that's why. Let's see, let's save this in... I might actually want more of these. I might want just another one up here and down. There we go. Now these are all white, but down on the bottom, I think, if I remember correctly from... I was doing this pixel art lesson series, and we did glass in that at one point, and I think nope, that's not right. And then, is there... I can make a gradient for this one. I think that'll look good. Nope, that's not right. Not quite. Maybe it is linear I want. Okay. Okay, let's say 90, and then we're actually going to take... Let's come down to this end, and we're going to drop the color... And then I'm going to come into the gradient tool with this thing selected. Nope, that's not. That's not too bad. I still don't love it, but... Eh. This doesn't need to be perfect, I don't think. Actually, I'm gonna make this even wider. What's 256 times 2? 512. So make you 512. You can be 256. Not 26, 256. It is probably really hard to tell what I'm even doing right now. If your screen settings aren't great. Anyway, let's go ahead and export this as a PNG. Now I'm going to come over to VTube Studio. Come on, give me my settings. Thank you. Item settings. And there's all kinds of stuff that I've not even really looked at what's in like the default like included stuff. I've got a rainbow mustache that I could put on top of my slime tentacle mustache in here. That's awesome. Just random sunglasses. Bunny ears. Ooh, there's candy canes. I got reindeer ears. I got a Santa hat. Man, we could really spice this up. How do I add an item? Might have to Google this. How to add and use custom items for VTube Studio. Okay, I'm clicking the star. Ah, here we go. Oh, I gotta go to the local files. Okay. Let's see, installed. Browse local files. Here we go. And then I'm looking for a folder called Streaming Assets. Wait. Data. Items. Okay. And hey, look at all these other PNGs that are just in here. Let's see, I'm gonna need a new... Here we go. And there's the glass sheet that I just made. Pull up VTube Studio again. If I have to relaunch this, that'll be depressing. Aha, glass sheet. Aha, there it is. Yeah, I can see that I can move and rotate it. I was just looking in scene. Wonder if I can turn down the transparency any. Nope, don't need a new scene. I just want to... One second, I'm gonna reload that. Nope, not that one. Glass. Sheets. Can I... I don't know. How do I look? Well, I definitely look like I'm behind glass. I think maybe the transparency on the streaks needs to be lower. Yeah, that's the issue. How do I... There we go. Okay, so back to Affinity. Let's go ahead and select all of these. And we're going to change your opacity from 40% down to 25, just like the background. Save and exports over the old one. Please replace it. Alright, now let me pull up my folders again. Replace file and destination. And let's see if this looks any better. Honestly, I'm not sure I can tell a difference. Yeah, I get how that works. There's not really an obvious... Well, I'm a little more visible. I don't know, I kind of think maybe it needs to be more like 15%. Because it's multiplying over the background, because that's just how transparency layers work when they overlap. Or not multiplying, adding. Close enough, but you know what I mean. You have to like specifically set them if you don't want them to do it. Just get rid of that. Alright, and surely third time's the charm, right? Alright, let's see how it looks. I can't decide if it looks better when it's like... Oh, wait, whoops, I forgot to unselect, it immediately got locked onto me, to my movement, so that's not good. We don't want that. I need to make a cut. There's a way to like load in like a head pat toggle. I need to figure out how to do that, but I need to make like a custom one so that the hand actually like sinks into my head. See, pin item to model, no. That's better. Alright, well, how does this look on screen? Well, that's pretty good. Now I kind of hate the bevel. I think the bevel needs to be smaller. Oops, I didn't mean to turn it off. Let's turn down the radius to like 50. Why does it jump from... Whatever, 60 might be... I'm gonna manually type in 50. Save. Alright, let's unload this and try one last time. Okay. Alright. I think this one's gonna be it. Do not pin to model. Alright, I'm gonna... Yeah, that looks like I'm in a nice little cage. tucked safely away behind glass. Yeah, there we go. That's it. This is it. And then I just have to put any guests in front of the glass. for my safety and theirs. Mostly so no one gets the wrong idea about me. Alright, you know what? I'm just gonna leave the glass up the rest of the stream. That's fine, right? Hey, wait a second. Does this... Oh, okay. One moment. Apparently, my VTube studio window got shrunk at some point. Gonna have to unshrunk it here. Alright, that's more correct. Gonna have to turn off studio mode now so I can move myself back into position. That's too far. There we go. Now I have to actually... Wait, wrong thing. No, don't move the glass. Glass is fine. Can I... How can I want to be able to lock... I want to be able to lock the glass in place and then move myself. Or can I bypass it if I go into... No, I can't. Okay. Really sucks that VTube Studio doesn't have an undo button. But I need to be moved over a little to the... Ah, screw it. I'm just gonna have to get rid of the glass. We'll put it back. We know how to work it now, so it doesn't even matter. It's totally fine. Am I unlocked? No. There we go. That's how it's supposed to be. Now this window looks like it's a little too tall. Or have I always been that tall? I don't actually... I don't know. I've always thought of myself as a little guy. Just like a silly little guy, you know? Or if I'm actually tall, then that's not on brand. I don't know how to feel about that. Alright, anyway. But I totally forgot about my other scene. Don't worry, I'll fix it again. There we go. I think, yeah, about like that. Okay, sorry. I've got several scenes to manage. Now let's add the glass. Glass sheet. Select. Do not pin to model. And okay. That's how it's supposed to be. And now I am behind the glass. For the safety of the guest. Okay, anyway. Let's see. I wonder if... Okay, so since I am going to be working now on an RPG, on my RPG stuff. Where did I move that? Oh yeah, I forgot. Not gonna expose my whole folder structure to y'all. No offense. I remember where I put it, though, so we're good. So yeah, this is the every resource I have created for my my game. So again, if you missed the explanation earlier, the game that I am working on is called, well, it's tentatively called Silent Mayhem Under Springfield. That's probably not a name that's going to stick, but, you know, I had to come up with something to put out the playtest, right? We got a whole bunch of potentially better names in the works. So, but for starters, where's my template sheet? There it is. So I can't remember what changes I've made, because I've made a few changes already since working on this. Wait, I don't need that one. I need... these. Okay, so one of the one thing that I remember very clearly from the playtest was that you know, I still think that glass might be a little, like, I think the whole thing needs to be a little more transparent. I'm sorry, I'm being real picky about about this. In my defense, it is going to be a thing that I am going to be using for an entire stream on Saturday, and for the rest of this one, just because I feel like it, because I'm in a silly, funny mood. Wait, you're... I thought I set you down to 25. Well, no wonder it looked wrong. What about you guys? Oops. 15. Okay, that's what I thought. All of you are 15? Yes. And you are 25. Alright. So I don't know when I made that mistake, but that's why this still doesn't look quite right. Let's see, export. Does that, it doesn't look like it automatically updates, so I'm gonna have to unload. And then reload again. I don't know if you've noticed. I've tried to reposition my microphone so that it's not quite so physically close to the keyboard. I don't know if it's made a difference, but I'm trying to be a better... Ooh, that's good. That's what we're going for. That's what it's all about. I might zoom in a bit more on it. There we go. Yes, that's it. That's the look. That's the look. All right, anyway. So, oh yeah, this is the, we don't need the mastermind sheet. That's perfect, actually. Now, what we need is to edit these. So, one of the issues that came up when we were doing the play tests of this game was that, rules as written, the weak move was just we need the weak move was so weak that nobody used it, and the strong move was so good that no one ever failed with it. So what I think needs to happen is, instead of the worst stat being a -1, it needs to be a -2. Then there's another stat that's going to be -1 by default. And then 1, 0, and 1 plus 1. So the bear is going to be -2 small now. +1 strong is still correct. Let's see. Should it be... Let's say -1 to smart, then. Actually, wait. Do I want that to be... And that might still... But, like, okay, so my thinking is that if 50% of your moves are bad, no matter what, and 1 is going to be neutral at best unless you alter it, then you're going to have a much higher chance of rolling a move that you're not equipped for. And so my goal is basically... the way the game works is you've got two kind of penalty tracks. You've got your hit track and your alarm track. The hit track, I also think I need to reduce the alarm down to like 4 instead of 6. So like if I reduce the alarm down to 4 instead of 6, then wait, this is too loud for me. 1 second, I'm going to turn this down even more. Where's the... There's the volume. I didn't mean to mute it. There we go. Okay, now I can hear myself think. Sorry, is that too quiet for you guys now? There you go. Whatever, you get... You'll deal with it. Sorry. Anyway, as I was saying... Basically, the way the game works is it is a heist game. So there's a default assumption that everything you do is going to be in the service of being stealthy. So when you're being stealthy, it's a Powered by the Apocalypse game. If you know what that means... Oh yeah, that reminds me. I was going to update the category from art to... tabletop RPGs. All right, anyway. What was I saying? Just gonna hit myself in the head with a pipe again real quick, if you don't mind. There we go. Anyway, what was I saying? I was saying something. It'll come to me. Right, so this is a Powered by the Apocalypse game. So basically when you roll to do anything, the success to failure thing is on a 3-tiered thing. I'm also using advanced success, even though that is usually a thing that you'd unlock through level up, because this is intended for one-shots. And I've also altered the dice system. So typically, when you're playing a Powered by the Apocalypse game, when you roll, you do 2d6 and then add a dice modifier. I have been testing a system because I want to use this in a much more ambitious game eventually. It's an idea I've been playing with really since 2016, I want to say. Yet, literally, ever since I became a dungeon master for the first time, it's an RPG I've wanted to make. It's like a grim fantasy, like, game about a bunch of doomed heroes who are trying to overturn their fate. It takes a lot of notes from Masks: A New Generation, oddly enough. But the long story short, about the changes to the dice system is you don't add this number here. So it says small -2. You don't roll 2d6 -2. What you do is you roll 4 dice, and because this is negative, you take the 2 lowest results. So for strong +1, you have 2 points that you can add to your stats when at your discretion when you're making your character sheet. You can add 2 points to any stat except your lowest stat. So you can like make your bear a strong +3 instead of a strong +1. So with that in mind, then you like, let's say that we built this bear to be strong +3 instead of strong +1. What happens then is you would roll 5 6-sided dice, and you'd take the 2 highest results. Basically, the negative number means you have disadvantage, positive number means you roll with advantage. And then you get the advanced moves on like a crit. So, like, if you roll at least 3 6s, even with disadvantage, then it's a failure. And in the same vein, I've also made, like, an automatic fail state, where even, like, if you would have succeeded, if you rolled 3 1s, then you also just automatically fail. It's basically the idea is that the system is much higher risk, but much higher rewards. So rolling well, when you roll well, you do really, really well. And when you roll poorly, it is awful, like disastrous. So, anyway, with that in mind, you have 2 penalty tracks here. You have your hit track and your alarm track. If your hit track gets filled out, you get knocked out. Honestly, I think deleting these may have been a mistake. I'm not going to delete those yet. I've got some other ideas on how we can keep 6, but, like, I'm going to alter the basic move so that on a mixed success, because like every move has, like I said, kind of a 3-tier success system. If you played Powered by the Apocalypse games before, you know exactly what I'm talking about. On a 6 or less, you fail. The move's a failure. You don't get what you want. The game master gets to deny you your intended purpose and use your move against you in some way. So, like, my moves are... Where's my move sheet? Let me just pull this up real quick. So my common moves, this is also... Yeah, go ahead and... My common moves, this is also in the core rulebook, but, like, everyone likes having a little cheat sheet, so I made text up for that specific purpose. Anyway, so we have slip past security. This is the small move. The smaller you are, the better you are at slipping past security. If you have negative small, that means you're big. Then you have commit self-defense. This is when you want to beat up security, and so you have negative and small strong. Or negative and positive strong. When you have negative strong, you're weak. We don't have to call it that, though. You just have negative and small, negative and strong, or positive, etc. Then plus minus smart for assessing the scene. This is your, like, typical investigation, gather information on the fly move. And then we have tell a lie. So we're assuming that you're not telling anyone the truth because you're not supposed to be there. So anything you tell someone is going to be a lie, right? That's the basic idea here. But so we have a failure state on a 6 or less, or when you roll 3 ones, just no matter what, that's a failure. A mixed success, which is where you achieve your goal but still face some minor penalty. So, like, for assess the scene, on a regular success, you ask 2 questions from the list. The first one must be answered by the mastermind with actionable information. The second one may be vague or partially inaccurate. On a mixed success, you only get to ask 1 question, and it will probably be vague or partially inaccurate. And we have 4 potential questions here. On a critical advantage, which is what I'm calling like my advanced success move in this game, you ask 2 questions from the list and 1 additional question of your choice. All 3 must be answered with actionable information. And then on a failure, you may ask 1 question from the list. The mastermind will misread the situation and accidentally relay bad information. Because the mastermind is also kind of role-playing in this game. They're supposed to be role-playing an NPC called the Mastermind, who is a raccoon who's kind of acting as a man in the van sort of character for this operation. So, like, you have your mixed success, failure, great success, and then your advanced success. The advanced success is really, really good. The great success, probably what you're going to roll most of the time. Not going to lie. Like, I ran a playtest of this. Most people did not fail on their moves. They got mixed success. They got great success. Only a couple failures the entire game. So what I need to have happen is on a mixed success, on basically all of these, there has to be some condition that raises the alarm. I think if we do that, then I don't need to reduce the alarm track. It will just happen more often anyway. Because mixed successes happen. Even when you're rolling 5d6s at once, and most of my players only rolled 4 at maximum, then you still end up in a situation where getting all of the dice to roll well enough that your 2 best results are above 9, because it's 6 or less failure, 7 to 9 mixed, and then 10 or higher is the full success. So yeah, on a couple of the moves already, it raises the alarm if you get a mixed success, but it will almost certainly raise it if you fail, unless you're gonna take damage. But anyway, I'll have to show y'all my like RPG shelf sometime. I've just got like 3, 4 shelves. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 shelves, I guess, at this point, full of tabletop games. Also, a couple of plushies from various things. I got 1 makeshift plushie of Fantokyo the Great from Billy Bustup, game in development right now. God, we've got to play Billy Bustup as soon as it comes out. Anyway, then I've got all kinds of board games, you know. You know how it is. It's not just the tabletop games. I've also started a small comics collection. I've got 2 issues of the IDW Sonic the Hedgehog series. I've got the first volume of Lackadaisy at this point. I need to actually make space for them on one of my shelves, because I don't have that right now. I gotta make it. Anyway. What was I saying? Right. So, basically, all of that. Excuse me. Basically, all of that to say that. Why do I keep getting the GeForce Experience in-game overlay alert? It just pops up periodically. I'm not even playing a game. Well, I guess I do have 3 applications open that use Unity, so I forgot about that. Anyway. What was I saying? Man, I keep getting distracted. See, this is what I mean. Like, I need someone to pay attention to me so that I stop procrastinating, because otherwise I'm just gonna like go browse Facebook or something. I don't even have a Facebook account anymore. How the hell am I doing that? That's not true. I do have an account. It's just I only use it to log into Messenger. I don't. If I could like nanny system myself, and the only thing the nanny system would do is stop me from just going straight to Facebook, I would do it. Um, Not that I actually visit Facebook like ever. Literally, I only use the Messenger app. And I would delete the Messenger app if my friends would just go to Discord. We got one guy who won't do that, so it'd be like that sometimes, you know? Anyway, so what one of the issues that came up in the playtest is nobody raised any alarm. We had, I think, one person come really close to maxing out their alarm track, but really, I need to do a better job of incentivizing people to like accept that punishment, because the way it works is if you max out your hit track, you get knocked out. You have to retreat. You cannot continue the mission. Um, you're out of the game at that point. So you need to be able to accept that your hit track, you cannot allow that to fill. But your alarm track, like once it's filled, it stops being an option to like substitute it for a penalty for something else, or to use any move that allow you to intentionally raise your own alarm in order to do something. Because like the bear has a move called See I Fit. You may intentionally raise your alarm by 1 level in order to roll plus strong instead of plus small to slip past security. On a success, the obstacle is destroyed and nobody else will need to roll to get past it. So like a lot of this game also kind of assumes that the party is going to occasionally get split up. He's like, that's how heists work. Everyone has a job to do. And you don't always get to be together with your buddies for the whole heist. Someone's going to have to go off and sneak into the security room and turn off the webcams. And then someone else is going to have to be ready so that when the webcams go off, they can get in and out before someone else comes back in and turns them on, right? We all know how heisting works. Anyway. So, yeah. The I'm sorry. Sorry for the yawn. So yeah, like I need to find some way to incentivize. I either have to force people to choose between their health and their alarm more often, raising the alarm a more common penalty. But I also think one of the things that is going to just make raising the alarm a much more likely outcome no matter what is if I change it so that like you're more likely to fail a roll. Because like that was also part of the problem. Raising the alarm is a consequence of failure, at least by the original game's rules, and nobody fails because their dice rolls are so high because of the advantage system. So that's why I'm altering the stats as well, is we need to honestly, this might just I might just publish the thing with just this change. Um let people run more playtests, organize my next playtest with just this changed. Maybe look at we'll look at the common moves here a bit as well, but like y'all don't need to see my script ideas. Anyway, so yeah, I think for now we're just gonna say -1 smart subject to change, because that way you'll have like you would have to really invest in what is intended to be a dump stat, weakening what is supposed to be your good stat in order to have basically just one neutral stat. One extra neutral stat, which I don't know. It might be worth it without without some extensive playtesting of that possibility. I couldn't say for sure. I gotta organize another playtest of this. Like as soon as I get this change published, I'm gonna organize a new playtest. So yeah, for now I'm just gonna copy this, bring it over here, paste. So the cat is, yeah, I guess the cat's gonna have to be bad at speech. Why is this? Let's put it on the same layer as you, actually. Thank you. That makes much more sense. Okay, anyway. So for the cat, smart is its best stat. The cat is supposed to be a genius in this game's fiction. It's not so good at talking. It's neutrally small. Strong, not so much. The cat's not the fighter of this group. It is too. It's very small, or it again neutrally small. It's not as small as the mouse. The mouse, however, mouse is bad at speech. And we'll put its -1 in strong. Wait, is this aligned with... Whatever, I'm not all that worried about it. I'll make a fancy character sheet when I'm done. Anyway, let's see. So the mouse is very good at being small, not so good at talking to people. or very bad at talking to people. Not gonna be all that strong, probably. Smart, it could be smart. Mouse could be smart if someone wanted to play a smart mouse. A smart mouse. Now the human's a good talker. But the human also probably not gonna be all that small. They could be. If you're playing as a child, you could be a small human. But you're probably not doing that. Chances are good, just based on the age ranges of people, you are probably going to be playing as someone more in the 11 to 49 zone. If I had to guess, that's where most human age ranges fall. Because, like, once you get up here, you start losing people, right? So, I mean, logically that makes sense to me, but also I don't have exact, like, demographic data of the world, so. Anyway. That's the character sheets fixed. Let's see. I might make this a short one. Okay, I'm gonna close this. Well, there's a reason I'm not gonna make the changes in there. I'm gonna make them in the core document here. So let's just go through these. So slip past security. When you want to slip past a security measure, roll plus or minus small. On a critical advantage, you can get the entire party past the security measure without any further complication. This one I already needed to change because it was... I didn't even think about it, but there was some conflicting ideas about how the move would work at play when I was designing it. So I'm gonna change some of the mixed effects. I think this is too powerful of an effect, first off. So you can get... Okay, so I just thought of one thing. Where's the mouse character sheet? The mouse has a move called Down the Mouse Hole. You can roll to slip past security even when no weakness in the system has been identified. However, the route you will take will not work for anyone else. On the other side, you have to create another opportunity somehow. Okay, never mind. I'd already thought this through. So, whoops, wrong button. There we go. Basically, what my fear was that I didn't think that through all the way, and that critical advantage would allow someone to sneak through with, like, sneak the entire party through a mouse hole on down the mouse hole, but that's not a thing. But yeah, it is a fun thing that as the mouse, you can just declare that there's a hole, that there's a hole somewhere that you can slip into. It's not an option for anyone else to get through that way. It's just too small. But like, canonically, canon to reality, mice can like slip under incredibly small cracks in doors that other animals can't get through. So like, yeah, it makes sense. Any small crack, a mouse can probably get in there. And if a mouse can get in there, they can get through to the other side, right? So that's the logic behind that move. Where I think we have issue, on a great success, you find a way that you specifically can fit through. A vent, a crack in the wall, a path through the laser grid, you can go for it. On a mixed success, you find a way through or an alternative route. Choose one. The route won't work for you. Choose another player who you believe could successfully use this path. They can do it without rolling so long as they're already nearby. I think I'm going to remove this. Well, I don't know. If they're not nearby, they must roll plus minus small to determine if they make it to you. So if you declare the route will work for someone else, then you could get them through, but they may still have to roll for it. But it would work like a stat roll, which stat rolls are basically sometimes the mastermind might ask you to make a plus minus stat roll with a stat without performing a move. This is called a stat roll. It could be used to perform a reactionary action such as dodging a surprise falling boulder, or a feat of strength, smarts, speech, or smallness that isn't covered by the common moves or a playbook move. Stat rolls always succeed on a 7+ and don't get critical advantage. So basically that's what this would be saying. Okay, you know what? No, I think yeah, okay. I think this is just how it will be. The route won't work for you. Choose a nearby player who you believe could successfully use this path. They can do it without rolling. The route will work, but you'll put yourself at greater risk. Take -1 health or +1 alarm. Or the route does not lead where you hoped it would. On a failure, you don't get past the obstacle, at least not without some serious consequences. Okay, yeah, I think that works. I think I had made some of the conditions here a little too complex. Okay, you know what? I think it is fair to say you can get yourself and nearby allies past a security measure. Because that would certainly speed things along, right? All right, so basically, on the down the mouse hole move, based on description, critical advantage won't apply, and this option will be taken away on a mixed success. I think that's just how that's got to be. Okay. Then our next move is commit self-defense, plus minus strong. On critical advantage, you instantly subdue the target, regardless of how much health they had left. Choose one from the list as well as one from the great success list. Get all of them. -2 health to any other guards in the area. Create an opportunity for an ally. One player gets +1 advantage on their next roll, or take -1 alarm. So like you knock out a guy so good that you knock out a guy so good and it's gonna there's no one after you anymore. The alarm's going down. Not because they don't know you're there, but because your pursuers have lost you. You've lost your pursuers. Okay, I know how I can make this work. Okay. Here's how I think critical advantage can work on this. So on critical advantage, choose one. First option, you can get yourself a nearby allies past the security measure without issue. Pretty straightforward, right? What was the other thing I just thought of? I think if players are confident in their ability to lower their alarm, then they will be much more willing to let it raise. So I think no matter what, I think no matter what, on any move, you're either going to take -1 health or -1 alarm if you fail, or +1 alarm if you fail. But so, okay, so basically what happens with alarm is once it's maxed out, you can't use it anymore as an alternative penalty. On the plus side, it also gets removed as a penalty for you. But there are consequences to doing it. Okay, so we have this thing called the threat level. Basically, there's 4 potential players in the party. So there's 4 stages to the threat level. Whenever someone's alarm track gets maxed out, the threat level goes up by 1. If the party has less than 4 people playing, then the first time the alarm gets raised, it gets raised by. So if you got 3 people, it immediately goes up to 2. If you got only 2 players, it'll immediately go up to 3, and so on. If you got 1 guy, then don't run this as a one-on-one. Don't do it. Honestly, I think the optimal play experience will be a 4-hour game with 4 players. A 4 to 6 hour game with four players will be the optimal way to play. I ran my campaign. When I ran my playtest, it took us... we set aside 4 hours, and we got through it, but if they had raised their alarm at all, then we wouldn't have. My entire escape sequence would have had to be thrown out, because the Guardian would have taken up probably at least an hour to a half hour. So yeah, we wouldn't have had time to do the escape. I would have just had to say, okay, you beat the Guardian. You can leave. You can leave now with your cheese. You can cheese it without the authorities being catching you. Anyway, so back up to the moves. So I think first off, raising alarm or taking a hit has to be a failure no matter what. So I'm just trying to unify my language so that it's the same, referring to things in the same way throughout the document. So we have the hit track, which advances, basically. So when you take +1 hit, it would be like losing 1 hit point if you were playing a game that tracked things in that direction. Sorry. So on a great success, okay. When a fight becomes inevitable, roll ± strong. On a critical advantage, you instantly subdue the target. We already read that one. That's the advanced success move, right? Choose one from the list. Get all of them, -2 health to any other guards in the area, create an opportunity for an ally, etc. Take -1 alarm, no matter what. On a great success, you can do that if there's no guards remaining. So, on a great success, you have the option to lose no health. If this option is not taken, you will take half the intended damage from your opponent unless the attack subdues them. Take 1 additional health from your target. Alright. So basically the way this works is like... Wait, no, okay. Okay, I understand, I think, what I was doing here. This is another thing that, like, when you don't have unified language, you have to kind of remember what your intentions were. Wait, no, okay, so it is... This is the damage that you do to the target, so... Wait, no, it's... Never mind. I was about to say, like, because enemies can't have more than 6 hit points either, because you can't, except for maybe the Guardian. But, like, this wouldn't make sense, because it would do 5 hits, so they could have 1 HP left. Up to 1 HP left. So on a mixed success, you and your target damage each other. The mastermind will tell you how many hits you take. Alright, so yeah. Basically, again, on the commit self-defense move, there is a chance for you to negate some damage here. And then with the bear has a move, have some honey. At any point, you may dip into your special honey stash if you think it may help a nearby ally. Roll plus smart. On a success, you may heal an ally for 1 hit plus your smart stats value. On a failure, the target ally takes an extra disadvantage on their next roll instead. Okay, you know what? I think maybe we should make this, like, speech instead. Oops. Alright, so... No, because the cat has that. Why is this giving me music with lyrics? I told you instrumental only. One of these days I will actually have curated a playlist of, like, stream safe music. Why is this so loud? That song was loud. Alright, so, yeah. I'll alter the move so that, like, no matter what, even if you roll with a disadvantage, so long as you succeed... Um, on any success, you may heal an ally for 1 hit plus your smart stats value, with for a minimum of 1 hit. So no matter what, if you succeed, you'll heal at least 1 hit. If you invest points in smart, it can be up to, I guess, 2. If you're willing to make your bear like spec it to be a healer, then that's what you could do that. Wrong thing. Sorry. So yeah, just as we're thinking things through, I'm gonna go. We'll be making changes here. Let's see. Where was I? This one, I think, is the only move that I'm not going to. I think this move here is the only one where I'm not going to require it to raise the alarm. The game master might still raise the alarm, but like it's not going to be a requirement of the move. And this one, it's already got the damage penalty, so. And okay, so I've already kind of done that here. So on a failure, your alarm will be raised by 1. On a mixed success, you must meet their demands or you'll take +1 alarm. Choose one. They demand proof of your claims. They'll leave you alone but keep an eye on you. They don't believe you but will accept a bribe or favor. So, on a critical advantage, they believe you without question and may even help you achieve your goal in the area. Okay. Let's see. So that's actually, I may have made some changes to this document earlier, actually. Yeah. So, yeah, I think we're looking good here. We just I may have made some changes earlier and forgot about it as I was like, because I made a couple changes. I don't remember what they were when I was editing the bonus for Patreon, like the recording of the playtest. Excuse me. I just don't remember what those changes were. But I'm guessing they must have been changes to the moves, because I don't remember. Anyway, these moves are also doing maybe a little more than the average move does, simply because this is a one-shot, and for that, you want some structure. Or at least structure is helpful, in my opinion. I like having a little bit of like guidance, safety rails, let's say, when I'm doing a one shot. And it's not always helpful, like depending on the game. Like some games are just so simplistic and open that like it ends up circling back around to being helpful to not have complex rules. If that makes sense. Yeah, something um there's a new RPG that's like just come out digitally. The physical release isn't even here yet. Called Otherscape. Technically colon Otherscape, but like no one says the colon part. It's just Otherscape. Anyway, we'll probably get to that on how to make a literal cat in your favorite RPG at some point. Speaking of which, if y'all like TTRPG stuff enough to be here, you might like my show. Anyway, I don't think anything really needs changed over here with how this stuff works. Another thing I've thought about doing, but I don't think I'm going to do it for this playtest, but giving every character a different number of alarms, giving everyone a different size alarm tracks. Like the human might only have 4. The bear would have 8 because they have moves that require raising the alarm in order to use it. Um, and then someone like the mouse, who is like very likely to have the opportunity to lower their alarm, uh, because of how often, like the mouse's one job is to slip past security, right? So yeah, they might. There's a good chance that they will roll critical advantage. Like the more they use that move, my playtest had the mouse in that game managed to roll a critical advantage at least once. So yeah, like it's a possibility. But anyway, I think for playtesting you kind of just want to iterate. So I've changed some stuff on the character sheets, and I've changed the moves in response. I've made some changes to like other things that will be altered by the effects of the moves. I think this might be ready to go. I'll export this all out and save it to the thing later. Trying to think if there's any other project that I could work on stream today. I want to go at least another 10 minutes. Okay, I know what I could do. So we've made changes to this just all over the place, like a lot of minor ones, but still. Let's go ahead and update the common moves. Did this actually... Huh, okay. Well, that's weird. I guess I don't need this other folder, do I? Kind of done with that. Yeah, just simplifying how slip pass security worked has made this document take up less space. That's awesome. It's going to be so much easier to format when I do the cheat sheet. Where is my cheat sheet? Do I have it saved here? Yeah, it's right here. Look at this mess. This will be so much easier to make this readable when... Anyway. This is the cheat sheet, so that needs to be taken off there. Let's see. Yeah, you know what? I think I think this is going to be it. Thank you everyone for watching. This has been a pleasure for me, at least. I have enjoyed, well, I don't know. This was a project I've been procrastinating on forever. So I guess I don't know why exactly I was procrastinating, or maybe I didn't enjoy it. Uh, but anyway, I need to, at some point, I think I need to, like, go through, listen to the play test that I've done so far, and see if I can find just list out the stuff that's there, and make a poll out of the alternate game names that my players suggested for that. I think, yeah, I think that's the way to go. Maybe we'll see. Let's see. Do I have a crew? I don't think there's... Yeah, there's no one in chat. There's no one who's gonna pop up if we do a raid. I might just go watch someone else. This, I guess it's not too bad. I was really hoping I would get at least 2 hours out of it, but you know, the work's done, so what are you gonna do? Anyway, thank you all for watching. I will see... One moment, I forgot this was still going. Goodbye, Pretzel. You guys couldn't even hear the pretzel thing. That's only on the. Yeah, that wasn't even on the room. Anyway, so yeah, we have the glass ready so I can be behind my protective glass for when we let the anime woman into my lair next week or on Saturday, I guess. Yeah, that'll be fun. I've never played Power Wash Simulator before. So that'll be interesting. Anyway, I think I'm gonna go ahead and call it here. Again, thank you if you tuned in. Um, be ready to see the updated Silent Mayhem under Springfield playtest. And I'll try and get it out tomorrow. Maybe even later tonight. Probably tomorrow though. I've got to export a lot of stuff, and you know how it works. I've got a lot of things to update, a lot of files. We'll get there though. It'll be fine. Anyway, goodbye.